ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां व्यासशंकरमध्यमां अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we'll just read up to the last class where we stopped. Just chant the mantra. So people who already know the mantra chant, you can chant at your own pace then. Om Jatavedase Sunavama Soma Marati Yato Nidahati Vedaha Sanaf Parshadadi Durghani Vishwa Nave Vasindhum Duritat Yagnihi Tam Agnivarnam Tapasa Jwalantim Vairochanim कर्म फलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवी गुं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः। अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरधि दुर्गानि विश्वा पूश्च पृथ्वी बहुलान मृवी भवा तोकायतनयाय संयोः विश्वानिनो दुर्गः जातवेत सिन्धुं ननावाधुरितादिपर्षि अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानो अस्माकं भूत्यविदा तनूनां पृतनाजितगुं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगुं हुवेम परमासदस्तात् सनः पर्षदधि दुर्गाणि विश्वाशामद्देवो अतिदुरिताद्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि कमेढ्यो वत्परेषु सनाश्च होता नव्यच्छसत्सि स्वाञ्च आग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्मासभ्यं च सौभगमाय जस्व गोभेर्जुष्टमयिजो निषिक्तं तवेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमपि संवसानो वैष्णवीं लोक इहमादयन्ताम्। ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So in the previous class we saw Pritana Jitagum Sahamanam Ugram Agnigum Huvema Paramat Sadastaat. So Pritana, as I told you in the last class, Pritana Jitagum. Pritan means the enemies. So Jitagum means the one who is capable of giving protection against enemies or winning against enemies. Called Pritana. So Pritanat, or the remover of enemies. So the enemies are actually not outside of us. The enemies which we are talking about is our own enemies which are inside of us. So the prayer is actually for protection or for warding off those enemies which are inside us. So they are called Ripuhu. So Ripuhu means they are enemies. Right. So Kamam, Krodham, Lobham, Moham, Madam, Matsaryam, they are all the enemies which everybody has got. And they have in varied proportions. So the objective of this mantra, chanting the mantra, is to ask the Devi for protection. You will notice that this particular mantra always starts with Jata Veda. So there's a lot of reference to Jata Veda or Agni Devata. So why only Agni Devata is actually asked, why not Durga? So a question may arise as to why always Jata Veda is being invoked. You're able to hear me, right? All of you? Okay. So the reason why Agni is invoked always is because in the olden days, there was no need for Agni to be present. Agni, Bhagavan was actually not even present. He was actually all in Indraloka. He is actually reporting Indra. He is one of the general of Indra. So Agni, Vayu, Indraha, they are the three most powerful devatas one can find. In the Kena Upanishad also, the Indraha and Vayu are supposed to be the most powerful god. And there was a time when this Samudra Manthanam, I hope you know Samudra Manthanam, when the Samudra Manthanam happened, when the Asuras and the Suras, Devas are fighting for the Amrita, for becoming immortal, Lord Shiva came and helped by swallowing the halahal or the poison. Right? And the war, ultimately the war was won by the Devas because their dharma was on the Devas side. So they were all rejoicing. So whenever there is a requirement, you all go to the Bhagavan, we report saying that you are the protector, you are Trahimam, protect me. But then when the protection is given, after that the Bhagavan is forgotten. So all the people, Indra, Varuna, Agni, Vayu, they are all in the Loka, rejoicing and recollecting how they won the war after such a bitter war. And in the process of enjoying, they forgot to thank the Bhagavan for the victory. So it became such an extent that they even totally ignored. There was no prayer being offered. There was no oblation being offered. So because the Bhagavan is almighty and all the Indra, etc., all Kuti, they are Upadevatas. When compared to Mahavishnu and Shiva, these are all small devatas. So they were all watching and so if Indra itself has got such amount of ahankara, then what will happen to the human beings? If these people also fall under the spell of these asuras and they become overjoyed and they do not control their egos, then it is not good for the entire loka. Because people look upon the Devalokas for protection. They are the people who give you everything. Asuras are always there to take away the kingdom. They're always there. So if Asuras become powerful and Indra also become, the Asuric qualities are being developed, is a problem. So they decided to teach one lesson, or just to bring back or to refocus Indra's focus on the Bhagavan. So he appeared as a form of Yakshaha. So Yakshaha is actually like a power which he assumed and it presented in front of the court of Indra. So as soon as it presented in the court of Indra, Indra could not even see the Yaksha because it was so blinding. The light was so blinding and powerful. It was a very distant light. Before even he could look, it just disappeared from Indra's court. So naturally, all the devatas were afraid. See, this could be some asura trying to come in disguise and trying to see what we are doing. See, whenever our mind is very disturbed, what do? We have got panic. In panic, we do not think through clearly. So here also, Indra is now want to hold on to the kingdom. He's afraid of anybody who can be a threat. Doesn't trust anybody, especially when such a light, brilliant light comes like this in front of the Indra, and before even he is able to go and address or look at it, it is disappeared. Naturally, Indra says, look, there is somebody who is very brilliant and Tejas has come into our court and he is not present. So we must check it out. So Agni says, I will, because normally Agni is supposed to be the reporting Indra. So Agni, Vayu, Indra, the order. So Agni is the lowest among the order of priorities. So Agni, Vayu, Indra. So Agni first says, Indraji, don't worry, I will go and check out this person and I will, defeat this person. Because they are all having ahankara, ego. So Agni goes and then finds his yakshas, he's sitting there. He comes in front of Yaksha and asks him, who are you? He said, yes, don't ask me who, first you tell me who you are. He said, I am Jataveda, I am Agni Devata. Don't you know that I am Jataveda? He said, no, I don't know who you are. Tell me, give me parichaya. So he says, I am Jataveda, I am the Agni Devata, and whole of this Jagat is offering oblation to me. And without my presence, without my blessing, nobody can do anything here. Oh, so you are so that great, and you've got so much of power. He said, yes, I can burn the entire Prithvi, I can burn all the three lokas in one shot. So this is Ahankara is playing. So this Yaksha was actually none other than Parabrahma or Brahman, just come there as the power of Brahman. It says, okay, now I'm going to keep one straw or darbaha, is darbai, a straw. He says, I'm going to keep in front of you. You do what, tell me what you can do. He said, I can burn this, just like that. So because it's okay, you burn. Agni comes forward and he tries to burn. He is not able to even move anything, not even burn anything at all. He tries so many things and then finally says that I'm not able to defeat, I'm not able to do this. He goes back to Indra. He says, I don't know who this person is, but who the person is, I was not able to know anything at all because he was number one brilliant, very shining. And he asked me to burn this Kusha grass and I was not able to burn anything. So he says, I'm sorry, I'm defeated. So Indra Agni sat down very dejected, Jataveda. Then Vayu went there. Same thing happened with all Ahankara, I went there. Right. So Ahankara, when he went there, same thing, who are you? He said, I am Vayu. I can blow all these things just like that. I can carry just like that, all the wind. He said, okay, you blow this for me. Vayu tries everything, nothing can move. He also comes back empty-handed. So now Indra is very afraid. See, what is this power? What is this power which is stopping me from, these two warriors are there. They are not able to do anything. So Indra says, now I will go because there's nobody else to go. So Indra has to go finally. So Indra actually goes there and then when Indra appears, Yaksha disappears. See, these two people, Yaksha was standing there to talk to him. See, Agni Devata and Vayu Devata, he was standing there, talk, who are you? What can you do? All these things. As soon as Indra came, he disappeared. So he was searching for this person. Just now he was here. How come he disappeared? He's afraid of me. But Indra is actually a very, very, because he's the lord of the Devatas, he cannot go back to Indraloka saying that I got defeated. So he has to find a solution. Right? So he sits there, meditates, and meditates on finding out what is this power, what is this Shakti which has come to my court, let me understand. At that time, Shakti itself comes, Durga itself comes in the form of Parvati, it is called, Shakti, comes and tells, what are you meditating on? He says, I'm meditating on this Yaksha, something which came and disappeared. And I don't know who it is. He says, Indra, that what you saw is none other than Ishvara. Ishvara had come in that form and he wanted to test you because you are so arrogant, you are so ignorant, you are so, embroiled in so much of enjoyment that you forgot about what the Bhagavan is. But because of his meditative power, and he gets a teaching from Durga itself. See, Durga, Parvati, Lakshmi, they are all same Rupa only. All power of Shakti, power Maya, everything correct. Then he understands who the power is, then he surrenders. So, there also, whenever we have ahankara, whenever we have the highest ego, I am this, I am this, I am this, you will not be able to achieve anything greater. So you have to be very humble. You have to always be very, very polite. And ahankara is something which is natural. So Durga Suktam, what does it do? It actually reduces, or it actually starts to cut into the ahankara like a chisel. So it starts to shape for ahankara, saying that, okay, the right ahankara is required. So Durga Suktam, even if you chant mechanically also, without knowing why you are chanting, it will still give you protection. But if you chant the mantra with the meaning of what it is, it becomes a contemplation, like Indra did. See, Indra did not do meditation. Indra actually contemplated on what it is. And because of contemplation, he was able to see the truth through the Uma Devi being present there. The same here. That's why in the olden days, Agni was not there at all. Because everything was transparent, people were meditative, contemplative, and they were only studying this kind of things. Later on, when Kali Yuga came and all the yugas came, as the age progressed, people forgot Dharma. And they were not able to do meditation, practice all these things. So they had a mechanism, they had to do something for removing their papam and papam, etc. So karmas were given, rituals were given by the Bhagavan, say you flourish by doing rituals. So you live by rituals, you flourish by rituals, and you become pure by rituals. So rituals became a mandatory thing. But rituals will not be accepted by Devatas without getting sanctified. Because our rituals are, whatever we offer impure mind. Sometimes we may not be in the right frame of mind. Ingredients will not be correct. Mantra will be shortcut will be there. The Acharya is performing the puja also may be in a hurry. He may forget some mantra. Some mistakes will be there. All sorts of things are possible, correct? So in karma, anything can happen, any mistake can happen. So thereby, Agni said, I'll come down to earth. So Agni actually was sent by Indra, said, I need oblation, very clear oblation. We can't accept like this. Because otherwise we'll become impure. So Agni came, say that, okay, I will be the mediator and I will actually bring all those oblations into you, in the Loka. That is why the Jata Veda came like this. So even if you look at this Durga Suktam, Jata Veda se Sunavama. So Jata Veda se, correct? Even in Sri Suktam ko Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarna Raja Dasrajam, correct? Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmi Jata Vedo Ma'avaha. So Jata Veda. So Agni Purana is very big. Agni Purana is very big because Agni is the most sanctified way of offering prayers. In our culture, we do not have any ritual without Agni. Without Agni Karma, we do not accept it. Even you may get married in registered office also. You can get, but still, you still have to do formally, you have to do all these things. Why do we insist? Because the blessing of the Agni is required. When you do this seven times or Sat Fere you take, or you take all those things. What you are trying to do is you are trying to go around the Agni, get yourself purified, blessed by Agni, so your life is clean and smooth. That is all symbolic. So that's what it says here, Pritana Jitagum Sahamanam Ugram Agnikum. So Agni is supposed to be what of nature of Ugraha, right? And Sahamanaha means the one who is attacker. So what the one who can attack and the one who can vanquish is called Pritana Jitam. Jitagum means winner. So Jitam means winner and Pritana means the enemy. So the winner of the enemy is Agni. The one who is of the nature of Ugram is Agni. Ugram. Sahamanam means the one who is capable of attacking is called Sahamanaha. And how is it? Paramaha Satastat. So Paramaha means what? From the highest pedestal. Right? So from the highest pedestal we worship. Right? So Vishwaha, see, Parshad Sana Parshadadi Durgani Vishwa. So Durgaha means, you must not say Durga Devi. Durga means here obstacles. So Durgani means obstacles. Durga obstacle. Durgani, variety of obstacles we have. Or pain we have. Kshamaha means to erase or to remove, to ward off. So all of the pain, obstacles which you have got has to be removed. And who is capable of doing this? Agni Devata in the form of Havya Vahana, taking it to the Devata, to Devatas. And Duritam, Duritam means mistakes. See, we make mistakes. Because of mistakes, we get pain. We get, unhappiness. So we are to be protected from avoiding mistakes. You can make new mistakes, not old mistake. So that's why we have all the rituals. Like the prayer, the Upasana, etc. is being prescribed for warding off those kind of habitual errors which we do. So Duritam Ati Barshihi. So Ati Barshihi means, Ati means across, means take me beyond. So Barshihi means protect. So Duritam Ati Barshihi. Duritam means all sorts of errors, mistakes. Durgani means all sorts of pain or unhappiness, those which are there. Vishwaha means all. So you're not asking for one problem. You are asking for protection from all sorts of pain, because we do not know what sort of sorrow we are going to get, what sort of difficulties we are going to get. One day we'll be well, second day will not be well. So we need arogyam in terms of mind, health, physical also. So everything is important. Then only you will be able to function properly. So he's asking for all sorts of protection. And his Agni Devata is being worshipped again. So Agni Devata is again called the one who takes the oblations, the one who takes our offering to the Bhagavan. So Agni is always worshipped. So one may ask a question, one may have this doubt, why Agni is being talked about all the time? Because Agni is called Havya Vahana. So Jata Vedaha, Agni Devata, Havya Vahana, Sapta Jihva, another name. Sapta Jihva means there are 7 tongues of the fire. So if you look at the fire closely, it has got 7 colors. So Kali, Karali, all these things are there. So when you read Mandaka Upanishad, you will see this. You will know. Then Pratnoshi Kamedyo Atvareshu. Pratnoshi Kamedyo Atvareshu Sanas Chahota Navyachatsi. Pratnoshi Kamedyo Atvareshu Sanas Chahota Navyachatsi. Swancha Agne Tanuvam Piprayasvasvabhyancha Piprayasvasvabhyancha Saubhagamaya Jaswa Saubhagamaya Jaswa Pratnoshi Amidhyo Advareshu Sanas Chahota Navyachatsi. Swancha Agne Tanuvam Piprayasma Sabhyancha Saubhagamaya Jaswa. So Swan Cha Agne. So He Agne He. So the second line you see Swan Cha Agne. So He Agne He. Advareshu means in sacrifices. Advareshu means in sacrifices, in the oblations which one is offered. Kam idyaha, kamidyo, kam idyaha. So kam means happiness. And idyaha means the happiness which is praised by everybody, or the one who is lauded or praised or revered is called idyaha. So kamidyo is, kam means happiness, idyaha means the one who is praised for the happiness is Agni Devata. Hey Agni, the sacrifices which are being offered to you or which are people are performing is of the nature of happiness, or is supposed to bring you happiness, and is of the also very, very, you are praised in those sacrifices. So always any mantra which you do, you always praise. Right? Indraya Swaha Idanna Mamaha. So Idanna Mama, Idanna Mamaha. See, when people chant mantra, Indraya Swaha Mama, Agneya Swaha Idanna Mama, so Mama, so Na Mamaha. When you chant the mantra, Swara changes. So Idanna Mama. Now, see, Idanna Mamaha means what? Indraya Swaha Idanna Mamaha. So means what? Indra, I'm offering oblation to Swaha. Idam na mamaha. This is not mine, this is yours. The Suryaya Swaha Idam na mamaha. So by saying na mamaha means what? It is not mine, it is not mine, it is not mine. So all of the offering which you do, he is saying that this belongs to you, Indra. I do not want any of this. So mechanically, if you chant the Vadhyar who comes to our house, he will say, oh, you take the ghee in this, you chant, do like this. So mechanically also we do this. But what it means is that if you really watch the mantra closely, it says idam na mamaha, means what? This is not mine, this is not mine, this is all yours, Indra. So by offering that particular, having that philosophy or having that attitude, you are not expecting results from that Agni. Because I am offering this to you, this is your problem, you take it. I do not want anything of this from this. Correct? That is the meaning of this. So that is what it says here. Advareshu means the sacrifices, rituals which are being offered is of the nature of happiness. It's supposed to bring us happiness, and you are praised as the in those rituals. He Agni Devata. So Patnoshi Kam Idyo Advareshu Sanascha, you must break it as Sanavyascha. See, Sanat is actually called, Sanataha means ancient. So Sanat means, Sanatcha means what? Very, very ancient, very old. So Sanataha, Sanata Dharmaha we say, right? Sanatana Dharma means what? That bit Dharma has been there for many, many years. Nobody knows when this came. So Sanatana means it always will be there. So Sanataha, in that which is the oldest ancient you are. Also, Navyatsa Hota. So Navyaha means what? New. And hota means sacrificer. That means the person who is oblating or giving oblation is called the sacrificer. The person who is sacrificing is called a sacrifice, correct? Sacrifice, hota. So Yajaman you can say also. So hota. Navyacha satsi. So Navyaha means new. And satsi means you are there as sat, you are there as existence, you are present as the sacrificer, the sacrifice, and also the happiness or the one who is praised also, you are there. So this is actually a mantra where you are actually praising the Bhagavan, the Agni Devata, for that you are present in me as the sacrificer. You are also present as the rituals. You are also present as the one who gives us happiness from the rituals being done. So where is the question of you being the offerer there? See, the offerer is not there because you are saying that Agni, you are there as the offerer. You are there as the one who is being to whom it is offered. And you are the person who is present as happiness in what I am doing also. And you are also very old. You are also new. Correct? So you are present as the old, you are present as the new, you are present as the sacrificer, you are present as sacrifices, sacrifice itself. So the act of sacrificing, sacrificer, sacrificed. Right? All the three are present there. So simple word, see this. Patnoshi kamidyo advareshu sanascha hota. So the word hota means sacrificer. Right? Navyacha satsi. Okay. Then swam cha agnehe. So swam means what? You or your. Swam means you or your. He agne or you agnehe. Tanuhu. Tanuhu means tanuvam, when you say here the self or the form. Correct? The form which is there. Tanuhu means the physical body. So tanuvam, because Agni doesn't have a physical body, Agni has got a form, right? So the form is always, Agni doesn't go straight. Agni always like this, always go like that. So always deviate. And the reason also we offer Agni from the top because the topmost tongue is supposed to be saffron color. And saffron represents jnanam. Saffron represents, moksha. So Agni always we offer, from the top. We never put from the side. Shortcut we can do, people do that, but we always supposed to do from the top. Because it will again flare up. So swam cha agne tanuvam piprayascha. So piprayascha means the one who gives happiness. So piprayasvaha. So if you want to break the word, you should break like this. Swam cha agne. Swam means you. He agne he. And your form, tanuvam, is of the nature of pleasant or make me happy. Piprayasvaha. Piprayasvaha means the one which is supposed to be making me happy. Then asmabhyam. See the word piprayasvasmabhyam. We'll break up into what? Piprayasvaha asmabhyam. Asmabhyam means what for us? Asmi, asmat. Asmabhyam, abhayam means for us. What you should give is saubhagham. So sau itself means good, right? Saubhagyam, saubhagham. See, saubhagyam is what is my good fortune. So what is supposed to your offering? Is supposed to be give me good fortune. So fortune means good fortune. People depend on what they ask. Somebody will say I want lottery. I still remember Krishnaji. I can never forget Krishnaji. Because he has promised that he will get lotto, he will donate to some good cause. And he's are you still buying Krishnaji? You're still buying lottery, right? It's called Lottery Mama. I met him in New Zealand many years ago. He told me very clearly that I want to win a lotto this time. So it's almost 6 years now. See, that's why Bhagyam. Saubhagam means what? If good fortune is there. See, Swami we talk about Swami. See, Lottery Mama is still coming. He said, yes, this is coming. So Saubhagam means what? Good fortune. So good fortune is what we are praying for. So let us be fortunate. So fortune can be depends upon the person. Somebody says, I'm fortunate to be to have found a teacher, fortunate to found a guru, fortunate to have learned this subject. So fortune can be varied depending upon the Purushartha Nishchaya of the person. So here he talks about good fortune. We should take it as that let me be fortunate in all aspects. So Swam Chagne Tanuvam, that is your form, Piprayaswaha Asmabhyam. Cha means and, Saubhagam means all, good fortune. Ayajasva. So Ayajasva means what? From all the sides. So give me from all the sides. I don't want only one good fortune. I want to be fortunate in all aspects of my life. Because when we pray, we must not be stingy. Because anyway, we are begging, we are beggars. We don't have anything for our own self. Everything is God given. But somehow we have a feeling that it is our own property. Actually, we don't own anything here. Including the physical body also is not ours. The most dearest, physical body which we use, the mind, etc., for creating the intellectual property, the physical property is also not ours. So where is the question of, you don't have anything. So that's why that is required. The activity is, I don't have anything. I don't have anything at all. So that's why he says, I need fortune from you. I need help from you, protection from you, from all the sides, so that you continue to pray. You offer your gratitude to the Bhagavan. So this is a prayer. See, by the prayer is actually what? Offering you're expressing your helplessness, choicelessness to the Bhagavan. But the same prayer can turn into worship later on when you have understood what the Bhagavan has given you, and now you have become satisfied. Now you do not want to pray again. Like, so if you already taken a begging bowl and gone begging, etc., you already got what you wanted. You do not want to go again and say, let me go again and pray again. Right? So you want to be now saying that, hey, Bhagavan, I've been given all these things. Let me express gratitude. So your worship is different from prayer. People mistake between these two things. So I am praying and worshipping. No, worshipping is expression of a gratitude to already what the Bhagavan has given to you. It's a thankfulness. Prayer is an expression of helplessness, choicelessness. That you don't have a choice, so you pray for protection. So this is a prayer, come worship. So the prayer is asked for what? Protection. At the same time, you are worshipping, you are praising to say that you are the one who gives me everything. So my oblations to you, my protection to you. That's what it says here. So Saubhagam Ayajasva. So the Bhashyam, I mean, there's a small Bhashyam there. It says that the same Agni from Puratanaha Daivo Hota Nabhya Manushacha Hota Bhutva Yaga Deshe Satsi Arthat. See the sea. It means what? This same Agni which was old before again gets purified and becomes new. Right? So it becomes new, and again it becomes old, it becomes new in the process of offering the fire rituals, etc. It converts itself. Correct? It gets purified. The oblation which you offer also is important. Correct. So Agni is waiting for those to be taken. That's what it says here. Pratno shikamidyo advareshu sanas chahota navyat swancha agne tanuvam viprayasva swabhyancha saubhagamaya jashva. Next, Gobhir Joshta Mayujo Gobhir Joshta Mayujo Nishiktam Tavendra Vishnu Ranu Sancharema Gobhir Joshta Mayujo Nishiktam Tavendra Vishnu Ranu Sancharema Nakasya Prishtamabhi Sambasano Nakasya Prishtamabhi Sambasano Vaishnavim Loka Hihamadantam Gobir Joshta Mayujo Nishiktam Tavendra Vishnu Anusancharema Nakasya Prishtamabhi Sambasano Vaishnavim Loka Ihamadayantam. So watch the swaras. Be very careful with swaras. See, Go Bhir Joshta Mayujo Nishiktam Tave Endra Vishnu Anu Sancharema. So wherever the swara is going down, you have to give proper emphasis to this. When you chant fast, the swaras are displaced. Then the result will not be clear. You won't get the right result, right? So the last of the mantras. So, He Indraha. So the word Tavendraha. See, Gobir Jushta Maijo Nishiktam Tave Tava Indraha. So, He Indraha. Ayujaha. Ayujam means the one without any sin and sorrow. Ayujaha, the one without any sin and sorrow. Right? Then Gopihi. See, Gopihi means that with the cows. Gopihi means with cows, with cattle, you can say. Cow is said here, but cattle is the correct word. So with the cattle, Jushtam means happiness, delightful, immortal bliss, happiness, immortal bliss, eternal happiness is a word called Jushtam. Vishnoho means what? The one who is spread as the entire Vishwam is called Vishnoho. The one who is spread. Vishnu. Vishnu, when you say here, that means that it pervades. So in Vishnu Sahasranama, we see the word Vishwam. Right? Vishnu Mashatkaro Bhuta Bhave Bhavat Prabhu. Correct? Bhuta Krit, Bhuta Brit Bhavaha. So Bhuta Krit means the one who is a creator, Bhuta Brit means the one who is a protector. Right? And Bhutatma Sarva Bhuta Bhavanaha. Pavanaha means what? That which purifies all the living beings. Same thing said here. Gobir Jushtaha. Jushta means the one who is giver of happiness. Ayujo Ayujaha means the one which has got no sin and sorrow. See, only a person who is pure, who is free from sin and sorrow, can give you happiness. You can never get happiness for somebody who is limited like us. You should go to a person who is a free person, happy person. Happy means what? Someone who has understood what happiness is in true sense. Sometimes you always go to people to expect, some sort of support. So we lean on their shoulders. Then what he does? See, my problems are bigger than your problems. And then he starts to narrate his problems. Then he says, oh my God, why did I come? Because you came for support, to think that you will be given some sort of protection or some sort of encouragement. But he himself is a limited person, he or she. Then how can that person give you happiness? That's why Ayujaha, the one is free from sin and sorrow. And Jushtam Anandaha. Nishikdam means in abundance. Nishikdam means in abundance. So Tava Indraha, hey Indraha, you are the person. So Indra is placed here because ultimately Agni Devata is reported Indra only. So Indra is offered the final oblation, saying that, hey Indraha, you are the one who is of the nature of free from sin and sorrow. You are the person who can give you abundant happiness, Nishiktam, Jushtam, happiness, and who is Vishnoho, the one who is pervading or who is present in all the lokas. Vishnoho. Anusancharema. So Sancharati. Sancharam means what? The person who is actually moving around, or I am following. So Anusancharema means we are following you, or we are following the Bhagavan who is of the nature. Indra here refers to the Bhagavan. Indra should be referred here as the Supreme Bhagavan. So, hey Bhagavan, who is of the nature of happiness, who is of the nature of free from sin and sorrow, who is giver of all happiness, who is always with the cattle. So, for such a person, Anusancharema, so we are following you or we are worshipping you. Okay. Then, Nakasya. So, Nakam means what? Devaloka. Parena Nakam Nihitam Guhayam. You know the mantra, right? Sanas Suktam. Hope you know. Purnagama mantra I taught you. Parena Nakam Nihitam Guhayam Vipraja Metat. You know the mantra, right? So, Parena Nakam. So, Paraha Nakam. Parena Nakam means what? That which is beyond this earth is Parena Nakam. That is Devaloka. So, Nakasya means that which is in the Indraloka or in the Devaloka. Samvasanaha means the people who live there, living. So, the Vaishnavim. So, the first time Vaishnavim talked about here. Vaishnavim means the one who is the consort of Vishnu is called Vaishnavim. So Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, they are all consorts. They are all only Shakti Rupam. So Nakasya Prishtam Api. So Prishtam means that which is superior or that which is higher. Api. Samvasano. See, Vasati, Vasano means what? Living. Samvasano means what? The one who is living comfortably. Samvasano, Vaishnavi, to that power, to that goddess which is mentioned here as Durgaha here. Lokaha means the entire Loka. Iha means in this world. So lokaha, iha means in this world. Matayantam, correct. So matayantam, when you say here, it means happiness. Let happiness prevail. So let happiness prevail in the world of the Devalokas, also here, and we are following you, the Bhagavan, who is of the nature of Anandaha, who is abundance of Anandaha, and unto the Bhagavan, unto the power, Vaishnavim Loka Ihamatayantam. Govir Jushtamayujo Nishiktam Tave Endra Vishnoranu Sancharema Nakasya Prishtamapi Sambasano Vaishnavim Loka Ihamadayantam. So Ihamadayantam means may delight. Then last mantra is a concluding mantra. Om Katyayanaya Vidmahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tanno Durgif Prachodayat. So Katyayani is also the name of Durga. Katyayani. Kalaratri, Katyayani, they're all different. You know, when you study the Chandi part, you know. So Sharadambal, Durga Devi, Lalitambike, all different, all their names only. So there are different names of, Lalita Sahasranam has got 1,000 names, right? Sahasram. But all of them indicate only one Bhagavan. But the one Bhagavan is praised by 1,000 different names. So here also Katyayani, Vaishnavi, Durgaha, Durge, right? So Durgi also. So Vidmahe. So Vidmahe means what? Vid means to know. And Mahe means we should know this, or let me know this. Know who? Katyayani, who is Kanyakumari Dhimahi. So Kanyakumari also another name. So Kanyakumari Dhimahi means in the intellect. So Dhihi means intellect, and Dhimahi means in the intellect. Let me pray to this Durga Devi, who is of the nature of Katyayani Kanyakumari Dhimahi. Tanno Durgif Prachodayat. So that Durgi, see, Tanno means what? Tat Durgi. So that Durgi, which is called Durga Devi, Prachodayat means let that Bhagavan, that Durga, instigate in us a sense of commitment, sense of prayer, sense of worship in our intellect. So Dhimahi, you'll see the Dhimahi in every, any of the prayers, you'll see Dhimahi will be there. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Right. So it means intellect. Give me the intellect. Give me the intellect for remembering this Katyayani, who is Kanyakumari, who is also Durgi. 3 names are given. Vaishnavim, Katyayani, Kanyakumari, Durgi. So all the 4 names are given here. So there are only 2 verses here which are actually referring to Durga. The rest of them are actually being referred to Agni, because Agni Devata is only a transporter. So you'll have to first worship the transporter first. Then only you can go to the Bhagavan. See, in tradition also what we do, before you worship the Shiva, you must Nandi only worship first. You have to go through the Nandi Bhagavan only, then only you can go to the Shiva. See, in the tradition also we see Nandi people in the Shiva temple, people go near Nandi and say something in the ear. Because you do not want to say loudly anything to the Bhagavan, Shiva, because Nandishwarar is always in constant contemplation of Shiva. So there's always you'll see Nandi is always worshipping Shiva directly. It will always be, you must not go in between. It's a tradition. You must not go in between Nandi and then worship like this. You must always go behind or on the right side only you worship. And to the right side, here you just worship something, say it is transported to the to Shiva. Same way, Agni also is worshipped here. Finally, Durga Devi is worshipped. The last two verses represent Gobir Jushta Maijo Nishiktam Taveendra Vishnu Anusancharena Nakasya Prishtamapi Sambasano Vaishnavim Loka Ihamatayanta. So the last two verses actually represent the final prayer to Durga. Because Agni has now taken all the oblations, he has given you all the benefits. Now you worship Durga itself, who is representing Agni. Is it clear? I hope Durga Suktam will make it better now. When you chant next time, you will know what Durga Suktam is. We can chant this in 2 minutes. Durga Suktam can be chanted in 2 to 3 minutes maximum. But it has taken how many lectures? Three classes, 3 hours to explain just this mantra. So there's so much of essence. I have not even gone to the Bhashyam yet. This is just word to word meaning of what I've given you. But the Bhashyam itself can take a lot of time, which we are not interested at the moment. Sometime when we revisit again, we'll do that. So with this, we completed Durga Suktam, Purusha Suktam we completed, Meda Suktam we finished, Durga Suktam we have finished. Sorry, Narayana Suktam also we have finished. 4 Suktams we have finished. In Sukta Sangraha, we have finished 4. The 5th one, which we are going to see next class, is going to be Sri Suktam. So I'll send you the text in English and Devanagari and Tamil for people who want to follow. And the next class we'll look at the meaning of Sri Suktam, Sri Sukta Bhashyaha, whatever we have. Then after that we'll go to Bhu Suktam, then we'll go to other Suktams. Okay. So see the idea of this whole class is to practice chanting, number 1. I already taught many people all the chanting. Some people already know about this. For the people who do not know chanting or just starting to learn chanting, this is a good exercise, good opportunity for you to learn. And for the people who already know the mantra, it is a good thing to correct what they have learned incorrectly before. And in the process also learn the meaning of the mantra, so it becomes more effective. So why we are doing this? Are there any questions from anybody in this class?
So are we praying to Lord Indra also through this
Yes.
Shuktam?
Correct. Because Agni actually reports Indra. Indra reports to Durga. So all the people are prayed here.
Thank you.
See,
So Agni is the transporter and Durga represents Agni.
Correct. See, Durga represents the ultimate oblator. Finally, everything goes to Durga only. But Indra, Agni reports to Agni, takes it to Indra. Indra actually gives oblations to Durga because ultimately the receiver of the whole thing is the Bhagavan. Right? That's why Indra is also mentioned here. Tava Indraha. Correct. So, and Nakasya means Nakam means what? Indraloka or Devaloka. So Nakasya Prishtam Api Sambasano means the people living there in the Loka. So there are Agni, other Devatas, Varuna Bhagavan is there, so many Bhagavans are there. So they're all living there. Finally, it says Katyaya Vidmahi Kanyakumari Dhimahi. So it says after that it says to that Durga let us remember. So all the oblations are taken by us into the Agni. Agni takes it to Indra. Indra offers it to the Bhagavan.
Thank you.
Correct. So that is the meaning of it. Just like when you go to temple, right? You buy a plate of prasadam, something, right, to offer. You pay money. The Vadyar gives you, the counter guy gives you money, fruit. Then the fruit is given to the person who does the puja. Correct. He does the mantra. He offers it to the Bhagavan, and then Bhagavan actually takes it finally. Correct. So we are all transporters via media, but the via media also should be clear. Like the process should be clear. That's why Agni Devata is worshipped here, always. Even in the Sri Suktam also, Agni Devata is worshipped. Even in Pavan Suktam, Hiranyavar Nam, Suchayaf Pavakaya tu Jatak Kashyapo Yasvindraha Agnim Va Garbham Dadhire Virupastana Apashaggasyo Na Bhavantu. So Pavamana Suktam, or this is called, so there also Pavakaha, Hiranyavarnam Shuchihi Pavakaha, means the Agni is supposed to be of the nature of Shuchihi, cleanliness, and Hiranyavarnam means always golden color. Right? Yatu Jata Kashyapo Yas Vindraha. So again, Agni takes it to Indra. So whole of this is Rigveda. So Agni is foremost. Right? So that's why Agni is worshipped beginning. Got idea, Radhaji?
Thank you, Ji.
So we will continue this. There are at least about maybe 5-6 suktams I taught to other people. So apart from this, so Bhu Suktam, Pavamana Suktam, then Aisha Suktam. So we've got a lot of things to cover. So we'll complete the Sukta Sangraha first. After that, we'll take up some other topic.
So I think I have missed Purusha Suktam. I think that's there in the YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube Purusha Suktam is there, Radhaji, and also Narayana Suktam is there.
And Narayana Suktam, I attended the class. So.
Purusha Suktam is there. I think there are about 8 or 9 classes of Purusha Suktam is there.
Oh, thank you.
Shankar Mama, you have any questions? You're okay?
Sir, only one thing. There is Sanap Parishadati Durgani Vishwa Naveva Sindhum Rudakni. That is the crossing the ocean by the thing, boat. And again it is coming Sanap Parishadati Durgani Vishwa Kshama Devo Ati Durtatyagni.
See,
I want it to happen again.
See, Naveva Sindhum Duritad, now means the boat, correct? So Sindhu talks about the ocean. The ocean is samsara, not the ocean. See, samsara dukkam is what is talked about here. Right? So that's why he says here, son of Parshadadi. Mean Durgani talks about the difficulties. So there also the Naveva Sindhum, the Sindhum talks about samsara dukkam. Here also, son of Parshadi Durgani Vishwa means the difficulties, obstacles present in the entire loka is called Durgani. Right? You got it? So Parshadadi means what? That which is all the dukkams which are there has to be removed. Right? And Kshamak Devo means what? The Devaha has been worshipped here. So Shamaha means the one destruction. So Kshamak Devo Ati Duritadhyati. Duritam represents the errors, mistakes. And Durgani represents the difficulties, obstacles. Due to the errors, we are difficulties. Due to the difficulties, we are in samsara. So all of these have to be connected together. So Naveva Sindhum Duritadhyagnihi means what? You cross me samsara which is full of duritam, obstacles, all sorts of problems, correct? Same thing is asked again here. See, repeatedly you ask for what? Protection. You ask for only, because that's the only thing you can ask. What else you can ask? See, if we have complete knowledge, you do not have to ask anything. But if a person doesn't have full knowledge, Purna Jnanam is not there, only Ardha Jnanam is there, then he is helpless, choiceless. So one asks always for protection only. Right? So whenever you go to temple, what do you ask? You always ask for what? Let Bhagavan give me good buddhi. Let Bhagavan protect me from all, this is what you ask. Do we ever ask, let Bhagavan give me jnanam? We do not. If you ask, let Bhagavan give me good jnanam, let me give moksha, then a different thing. Then your prayer is different. But most people who go to temple, they ask for my relative be happy, my country be happy, my people, let me be with all the wealth. So people ask for individual protection only. So here also the protection is actually asked for to ward off from all difficulties which may have. Okay. So son of Parshadadi Durgani Vishwa Shamak Devaha. Shama means the one who can be removed or the one who can kill. Duritad Agnihi. Like, so that Agni is of the
It's
nature
not
of
poverty, you know.
poverty also is an obstacle. Na?
Yeah.
See, poverty also is an obstacle. Because if you are, because if obstacle means what? If you are hungry, if you don't have food, how can you live comfortably? So you need to first ask for security. That's why Artha is required. See, Shastram doesn't say that you must not have any wealth and you still buy Bhagavan. No, you should have enough wealth for you to live comfortably. So you must have a house, you must at least have some place to stay, you must have at least something to eat. How can you think of the Bhagavan when your mind is already thinking about food? So that's why you always, food is Annadanam is supposed to be most precious. We'll always give Annadanam first because food is the one where the person can say enough. No other thing you give him, he'll not be happy. A Brahmana can, or forget Brahmana, anybody. If you give anything to anybody with abundance, give him 5 properties, say, I can have other property also. You give him food, he has to get up because he'll say just enough. You can't consume anything more than that. That's why Annadanam is supposed to say Shtaha. Got it, Mamaji? Correct? Huh? Okay. Any other questions from anyone before we conclude the class? Okay. Geeta ji, you're okay from India?
I'm okay, but நீங்க படிக்கிற மாதிரி வர மாட்டேங்குது.
அது நீங்க முறையா chanting கத்துக்கணும் கீதாஜி. See, you have to learn chanting properly.
Okay.
From a teacher. So otherwise you will find it difficult. See, I chant, most people here know. At least I'm hoping that some people know. Most people know about it. So it's easy for them. But you can look at recording and practice.
No, that is what I'm doing. And நீங்க ஒரு இடத்துலயும் full படிக்கிறீங்க இல்ல. So I just have that.
The recording sometimes is paused down, right? Then you can read the follow through that. Okay?
So many ups and downs are there.
Yes. See, Durga Suktam, even Sri Suktam is also like this. Sri Suktam also is lots of ups and downs. So Swaras, you have to be very careful. That's why you have to learn chanting from I don't teach chanting actually on internet because directly people who come and sit in front of me, they make mistakes. I correct so many mistakes for people who come and sit in front of me. I can hear. One swara mistakes, I can correct them. On the internet, you are learning on your own. So there's a lot of reliance on you listening correctly, you are chanting correctly, you are practicing correctly. You go to somebody's house and chant the wrong way, he says, who taught you? He says, oh, the teacher from Sydney, he taught me. That's what. But I can't be responsible because I don't know, because that's why we never teach chanting, we never teach anything on internet. Because our friend is in New Zealand, etc. There's no choice. That's the only way I can do. But otherwise, all the people come to my home and I teach them in person. So let students come, it is okay. But I'm happy with even 2 people coming there, it doesn't matter. But I want to teach the correct way.
Okay. Thank you, Ji.
So next week we'll again meet next Thursday. We'll continue with this another class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadavan Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Namaha Harihi Om. Namaste. Shubhratri.
Thank you. Namaste.
Deepavali வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
Diwali Vartikal.
Thank you, Ji. Happy Diwali.
Very good for reminding.
Happy
Sunday
Diwali
classes.
to everyone.
Happy Diwali.